All right, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of Real Talk Movie Podcast. We're back with Charlie again. We're here to review Superman. We are a week late, but that's okay. Came out last week. This is the first project in the new James Gunn DC universe that is movie format.
Mhm.
Obviously, we've had Peacemaker and Suicide Squad, but that doesn't really in the universe. I don't know how he's doing that essentially, but it is a James Gunn project that he worked on prior, but this is like the start of the new Justice League going forward and new Batman, Wonder Woman, all that stuff.
And a great way to kick it off.
Yeah,
I think.
honestly, it was really good.
Yeah, I as soon as I heard about it, I knew it was gonna be great.
Yeah.
I thought it was because like from the beginning, from the first trailer, like you knew it was gonna be classic Superman,
Right.
and that's what I've really been wanting to see. I've really been wanting to see, and I thought they did a really great job.
Yeah, I agree. All the portrayals were perfect.
Mhm.
I honestly have no complaints with casting at all.
Yeah, I was I was gonna say skeptical, but I was curious. Like I didn't know how Nicholas Hoult was gonna be as Lex Luthor. Not that I had any doubt because he's been acting. He's had a career his entire life. Like he's been acting since he was a kid. So like I knew he would do. I knew he would put a lot of work into it. You just don't know where you're gonna get, you know. And I thought he did a really great job. And it also really helps that they're like both really tall, him and David Cornsweet. So it's just like when they're talking, they're like to each other, they're literally eye level.
Yeah.
So it really works.
That was cool to see. Nicholas Hoult was up for Superman. He was one of the top 3 roles for Superman.
Oh, top 3? I didn't hear that.
Made to top 3 for Superman.
That's crazy.
And then James Gunn goes, let me see her. What do you look like without hair? And then he goes, yeah, I got another role for you, actually. You're not Superman. But fantastic. The only person that I was like, was Lois.
Really?
I thought she looked great. I just wasn't sure how that chemistry was going to be.
Okay.
The scenes look great from trailers and everything like that, but I was trying to avoid all the spoilers that I can before I went to see it, obviously. But I was excited about it, and it worked out as well. It worked as well as it could have. And Nathan Fillion is guy. Gardner's fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm blanking on the guy they casted from Terrific right now.
Yeah, he was great.
He was fantastic.
I haven't seen him in anything. I knew Nathan Fillion before, and then I was forgetting her name, but the girl who played Hawk Girl. Yeah, she's been in so much.
Yeah.
So obviously I recognize her, but I really love the people that they picked for this. Like, they weren't going for big names. At least I don't think they were. I think the most well-known person was Nicholas Hoult, and I remember seeing. I think he got paid more than.
He got paid $2 million.
Yeah.
David Cornsweet was at $750,000.
Yeah, and I think Lois got paid the same.
Yeah, the same as
Lois.
Yeah.
But so the girl with Lois, I never heard her before.
Yeah, I haven't either.
But David Cornsweet, I knew him because I didn't watch it, but I know he was in the Twisters movie.
Yes.
But I knew him from.
Oh wow! Now that you mentioned that, I kind of forgot about that. But yeah, he is.
Yeah. I knew him from the show Hollywood on Netflix.
Okay.
That came out in like 2020. I really liked that show, and I really liked him in that. He was like the main character. Yeah, he did a really good job in that show. But like, since apart from Twisters, I hadn't seen him in anything else.
Yeah.
So it was a real pleasant surprise to like see him cast in this because obviously he was a perfect fit.
Yeah, he did really well.
But yeah, and speaking of Twisters, he was saying how the audition process for Superman was during. Actually, no, I think it was before Twisters. Like he like auditioned for Superman, didn't think anything of it.
Okay.
Like did not think he was gonna get it. Whatever, he just kind of sent it in, just whatever. And then he went and did Twisters. And I think like during shooting or during the time of the movie, like that's when he got a call from his agent. It was like, hey, guess what? Yeah, which is crazy.
You could cast as Superman because you played nerd in Twisters.
Yeah.
He is a nerd though, which is fantastic. I am all in support for them casting nerds to play superheroes.
You have to. I just think you get the best quality out of an actor when they are a nerd on that kind of stuff.
As much as I hate Channing Tatum playing Gambit, he knows the character so well. I give him that. The only brownie points I'll give him is that he is a nerd and he knows the character. Not as well as me, but that's okay. But
you could have done it better than her.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. I have a way better build. He's way too big, and I could have had better hair and a better costume. Besides the point, Superman's there are like I feel like this is what people like needed, like what people wanted out of a superhero movie is that the last couple things we've gotten from Marvel were okay. The last couple things we've gotten from DC were okay. To be fair with DC, James Gunn did do Creature Commandos. Creature Commandos came out on HBO. I think that was almost a year now. But that was fantastic. It was animated. It was DC. It was grueling. It was funny. Lots of language, but fantastic show. I watched the first 3 episodes of Peacemaker. I don't like John Cena, so I won't watch any more of that. But now that he's saying that, oh, well, characters Superman are going to be in the next season of Peacemaker, now I have to go watch Peacemaker before it comes out on August 21st.
And he made his little cameo. And
he also made a cameo.
I thought that was really funny.
It was really funny. I don't like John Cena, but that was funny. I was laughing. I was definitely laughing. That was the other thing about this movie. It was comical. Yeah. There were so many funny things that were said. Lois jabbing at Guy Gardner's hair was absolutely hilarious, and that was such a needed line. And that haircut should be in your vows too. Such a good line, dude. Yeah. Oh my god, Mr. Terrific is perfect as well. That action scene with him where Lois is in the bubble and he's just going ham with the T-spheres. Is one of my favorite scenes of that movie, hands down. I loved every minute of that.
But my favorite part with that was like, or at least like with him using those was when Crypto thinks it's a tennis ball. Yeah, it's so funny. Things aren't cheap.
Things aren't cheap.
That was just beautiful casting all around. Even dude, I always forget his name, but the guy from SNL. Oh my god, I have to look him up now. I have to. But he was like, I don't even know what his character name was. But he was one of the guys working at the daily. Oh, he was the one they brought him in the bubble. He was like, yeah, you come along too, and he didn't.
Oh, the sports guy.
Yes, the sports guy.
Yeah. Steve.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. That's right. I need to look up his. Oh, I always forget because he's like one of my favorite SNL.
Dude, he is fun.
He's so funny. And then also Bradley Cooper being Jor-El, Superman's dad. That was a little wild. That was. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, I think that's good casting as well. It was a surprise. I was like, whoa. Beck Bennett.
There we go.
He played Steve Lombard. I don't know. But even he was really funny. And then obviously the guy who played Jimmy. Jimmy was such a great side character.
That was great.
Loved it.
They were teasing him getting his own spinoff show.
I would watch it.
It's just going to be him hooking up and running.
But him not wanting to hook up with you. He's just running away.
Whole inner conflict of running away from hot women. What? That
I keep forgetting her contact name in his phone was Mute Toes.
Dude, what a crazy name!
So funny. Yeah, I loved how everybody had like their own special part in this. Like I figured Jimmy was just gonna be just a stupid little side character of the comic relief, but he became a decent part of the plot and a very important part of the plot. And I loved how they tied that into it. And I thought the plot was good. What'd you think of like the general overall setup of the movie, like the plot, the things he fought?
Yeah, I wasn't sure where we were gonna go with the storyline. I was like, okay, I know we have these characters. It's gonna be a battle with Lex Luthor. He's gonna win the battle. Obviously, something's gonna happen. They are teasing this idea of, oh, this is a illegal immigrant taking down a billionaire. Whoa, politics. But like, I don't know. I didn't know how we were going to get from point A to point B. That's the thing with all these comics, movies that have come out and are going to continue to come out, including Fantastic Four next week. Is like, okay, I know the Fantastic Four. I know Silver Surfer. I know Galactus. How are we going to get from point A to point B? So the Fantastic Four either has to leave and go to Earth 1999, or they beat Galactus and team up with Silver Surfer and they do that, or there's this way. Like, same thing with Superman. It's like, okay, I know we're going to get to go to Lex, but is this going to be a battle with Lex? Is he going to have the armor? Is he going to have kryptonite? Is he going to have this? What is he going to have to kind of battle him to do the brains over brawn? which is always how Lex is because he's smart. He's not super powered. He doesn't have super strength. He's not buff. He's a skinny nerd. Like, that's just who he is. But having all these steps in between and bringing in not only villains that Superman had to like overcome first before you get to Lex, that also you're able to bring in Guy Gardner, Mr. Terrific, and Hawkgirl at the same time to help him with that was even cooler because you're giving yourself more to work off in the future so that you can bring in extra characters that people have already seen rather than having to have a whole movie for them or have to bring them in Justice League, and then you're creating too many storylines because you have too many characters you're trying to introduce in one movie. So that all worked really, really well. And I think all the transitions going from first him like also finding a way to get back to his house, because James Gunn was like, I don't need to see the Superman origin, I don't need to see the Spider-Man origin, and I don't need to see the Batman origin. These are three characters. We've seen the origin how many times? I don't need to see this again. But you know that you still have to give some backstory for, I don't know, kids that are going to see this movie or early teenagers that haven't
you have to have
read any comics. They don't know anything about Superman or my mom or anybody else like who doesn't know anything about Superman. You have to be able to be like, okay, how are we going to give context without showing a spaceship coming from Krypton and hitting the Earth and him like crash landing in a cornfield? Like, how are we going to do this? And I think they did that really, really well. Having his parents' message in the beginning, not necessarily giving the full backstory, but saying, okay, we sent you here, blah, 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 without having to show the whole spaceship thing, him growing up with his parents. But yet, halfway through the movie, you still get to go spend time with them and be like, yeah, these are the Kansas like farmers that we're expecting that are low to earth. They spend time with themselves. They're kind of contained from the world, which is how Superman grew up until he became Superman. And now everybody's like, we love Superman. But then in the end, you kind of get the whole backstory where he like is getting recharged again at the end of the movie, and they're showing all these memories and stuff. And it's not his original parents anymore. It's his other parents who he's come to realize that are just like our Earth people. And these are the people he brought here to save. Like, these are the people he's here to help instead of his parents who wanted him to take over the planet. But I think all of that flowed really, really well and was written really well. Because you were able to see the whole story and learn the origin of Superman without having to spend the first 10 minutes watching a Krypton planet explode and a spaceship get sent down to Earth. Like,
that was one of the biggest things I took away from this was that like I feel like they showed so much, but it didn't feel overwhelming. And that's what I really liked about it. Like, and I think that was the kind of brilliance of the film, was that they were able to showcase so much without doing the basic origin stuff we've seen over and over again, but still getting the gist for people that don't know it. And then doing all this extra stuff and it tying all well together in what was it, 2 hours? 2 hours. Yeah, not
just
too bad.
over 2 hours.
Not bad. Yeah, it was just over 2. It was like 9 minutes, something like that. I wanted to bring up because but before I saw this movie, everybody's talking about how like how woke it is, whatever, like trying to put politics into it, right? And then I'm watching this, and like I'm watching it, like trying to figure out like what they were talking about, and like the only thing I thought that people were calling it woke was them like what was the war going on in the movie and potentially it like mirroring Israel and Palestine, but I didn't get that at all. I mean, it's just another war going on.
I think mainly the thing was that it's the
alien.
Immigrant fighting the billionaire.
Superman has always been an alien, and Lex Luthor's always been a billionaire. Like from the get, like it's not like this new thing that they're making up. Like it's
no, they're just turning it into something that I don't want to get into.
But I was that was part of the reason I went going to see. Like I wanted to see what they were talking about, but I didn't see any of that. Like it's just. They're just made ups. Like, I don't want to get into that, like the big stuff either. But like, that's why I wanted to bring it up because it like they were clearly not hinting at that,
Right.
I don't think there was any political agenda behind the movie at all. I mean, his colors are literally red and blue. Like, there's no more like, you know what I mean?
Superman is a man for the people. He's a man for everybody. Like he just wants to save and help every single person living, breathing on this planet. That's his whole thing. Is that he is Superman. He's indestructible. He can do what he wants. He wants to save everybody and make everybody's lives better, no matter who he ends up hurting. His end goal is always to just help people. That's it.
And one thing I wanted to say about like the origin stuff, so that message, right, from
Yeah.
his parents, I was fully like expecting them to like, because like the full message came out and it was like, oh, you're here to destroy Earth, basically.
Mhm.
And I was fully expecting like Superman go back, at least at the end of the film, go back and like recreate or like look at the actual message and see if like Lex fabricated it or not.
Yeah.
And this is part of the reason why I want to go back and watch it, because did they confirm if that was the actual ending of the message, or did Lex fabricate it?
So that's where Mr. Terrific plays in, because Mr. Terrific is essentially the smartest guy on the planet.
Yeah.
He's smarter than Lex. He just is the smartest guy on the planet in the DC universe. That's why he's able to create and hack anything he wants inside of a computer. So that's where he's like, no, they had their best guys on this. This isn't fabricated. I'm sorry.
Wow.
Because he's able to see what happened. He would be able to decrypt that.
Okay.
That's Mr. Terrific. That's his whole thing. That he's like, I'm the smartest guy on the planet. I can do whatever I want. I can build whatever I want. I would know if this has been fabricated. And I'm sorry, man. It's not.
Yeah.
Like,
wow.
this is real.
See, I didn't know, because I didn't know anything about his character, right? So I wasn't sure about that.
Yeah.
So I was fully expecting them to have him go back to his house and look at the actual message, and it'd be like, no, you're here to save people. But I liked how, without knowing that, I liked how they didn't include that because of him kind of like, I mean, it's the whole conversation he has with his Kansas dad, like, like it doesn't matter what your parents want you to do, like it doesn't matter the purpose of what they're trying to get you to do, it's whatever you make of yourself, and I like how it was a self identity, a self realization that he came with himself, and it was just like a journey for himself, and it doesn't matter what his original purpose here to do was. He's come up with his own, and he's going to stick with that. I really liked that, and I liked how it ended up like he, because the message was so comfortable for him, and it became something he didn't care about anymore.
Yeah, it was more of a like people can root for him instead of this Zack Snyder Superman that we've had for the past decade.
Yeah,
who's been just kind of a prick. But it's been Henry Cavill who gives a good performance. The writing's just not there, and the directing wasn't there for that to happen because it was just so dark. Like that Superman, like if you took like not even the writing or the directing of the movie, take the color schemes from Zack Snyder's Superman and James Gunn's Superman. That is night and day.
Yeah,
it literally is night and day. Then like you just see the transition from like, okay, this is what we want to do from, and they took the whole universe and they just made the whole DCEU for the last 10 years just be this dark, pricky, like garbage that's been in this, like, I feel like I'm stuck in the negative zone. And then you move over to James Gunn, and James Gunn's like, okay, well, this is how we wanted our Superman to be, but every movie is going to be different because everybody's vision is different. Every comic book, every comic run is different. Every person that decides to write a comic, illustrate a comic, draw the comic is different. So they're going to come out and do Superman. Superman is super lighthearted, super caring, super people person. You walk out of the feeling joyful, and you're like, wow, that was fantastic. I want to be Superman. I would need a Superman. But then you're going to go to something like Clayface, which is their next big movie.
Very excited.
And that's going to be a horror movie. It's not going to be a DC project. It is a DC project, but it's going to be like what I'm gathering from everything that he said in interviews about Clayface is that I cannot remember for the life of me the guy who's going to play Clayface, but he basically came to James Gunn. It's like, hey, I want to do a horror Clayface movie. This is what I want to do. I want to make a horror movie that's based around Clayface and bring him into your universe. What do you think? James Gunn's like, green light, let's do it. So now his whole thing is that if people want to come to him that want to do a project that's different, he's completely okay with that because everything is different. Every comic book you run, every different Deadpool comic run that's come out has all been different. Every Superman comic run that's come out has been different. So why does everything have to be the same?
Yeah.
Like you don't have to, not every MCU movie has to be the same.
Well, I think that's why, like, I haven't watched any of the Superman movies with Henry Cavill, which I really want to, because he like is in theory a great Superman. Like he looks great for him, whatever. But like I think in like the idea of a darker Superman back then, like, was interesting because it's like we've never seen that. We've never seen that dark Superman. I think again, I haven't seen any of it, but from what I've heard, it sounds like the execution did not play out well. But I think, and even now thinking about it, like I just don't like. I feel like people like that's not what Superman is for. Like Superman is for hope and for having a symbol, somebody to look up to try to become, the dark stuff. That's what Batman's for,
Yeah,
it really is.
That's. I mean, the whole Justice League, which is what this is going to lead up to. That's what James Gunn is going for. That's what every DC creator from here on should be going for. Even Zack Snyder did it, but Justice League is just a group of people who are looking out for the greater good of not just different planets, but the whole universe. They end up making a tower in space so they can watch over the whole universe. That's the whole thing, is that all these superheroes are just together to save people. You look at Flash, he just beats up people. You look at Superman, he's beating up people. Like the whole thing with superheroes is to make something good. But when you have a movie like Zack Snyder, which is so dark themed and so dark colored, it just doesn't work as well as I think some people were hoping for. You have an evil Superman. You have Zod. That's what evil Superman is. He is literally the villain Superman. He looks exactly like him. He has the same powers, but he's evil. That's the whole thing, and that's what this Henry Cavill Superman from like Justice League feels like, based off of the colors and the themes and everything like that. Despite what happens in the movie or the plot lines or anything else, because he ends up being a good guy and saves the day because he, at the end of the day, is Superman. But if you don't have the music, the writing, the directing, the execution to go with it, it just doesn't work as well. And that's what James Gunn did so well. Like taking it down even to just the score. Like even the music is so upbeat the whole time.
I wanted to segue into that because I wanted to see what you thought.
The music is so upbeat the whole time. There are some fantastic needle drops in that movie. That needle drop in Mr. Fantastic's T-Sphere scene is so good. Like I'm literally just bouncing up and down on my seat. I'm just like, oh yeah, look at him go. Like it like everything works. It just is writing and producing and having a good cast. Like it's hard to do, but in theory could be so easy. Like on paper it can look so easy. On paper it can, like, you can read it and be like, oh wow, this is great. We have a great cast, a great soundtrack, we have a great writer. But if you don't have somebody with James Gunn vision to be able to pull this together, it's hard. That's why Guardians works so well. Because you have this list of people who are like, okay, this is great. You have a bunch of A-list actors that come in and absolutely kill it. But if you don't have his writing and his directing and his creative ability, then it just falls apart. Which is kind of where I thought we were headed with Guardians 2, because that kind of went off the rails. But he brought it right back to Guardians 3 with Adam Warlock, and that was fantastic too. So it is the James Gunn difference. That really is what it comes down to, is him being able to pull his strings. And
he really does. Like, and his casting is phenomenal.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and I was watching a thing with David Cornsway talking about the movie and like how he got Superman, and I guess when he was like when he was filming his audition tape, he was like reading a bunch of comic books and like doing on a lot of research into what he thinks Superman is, and he had a lot of ideas about it. And so like when he sent in his audition tape, he like included a letter and to whom it may concern, and then he had all these ideas, and in case nobody cared, he didn't put like James Gunn's name or anything, like just in case nobody gave a shit about what he had to say. So I don't know if that's what got him the job, but because obviously he's a perfect fit. But I'm really curious to what he wrote, and if that was incorporated in the film. Because and again, like we were saying before, you want people. I mean, obviously you want somebody to play Superman to look exactly like him, but like you want people who are nerds. Like you said, I mean, you want somebody who cares enough about these characters, not just somebody who's getting the bag,
right? Which
is I feel like we've seen a lot in this kind of stuff. But yeah, and so I think James Gunn just always he always does a great job, and I think especially with his casting, he just and also David Corso talks about how he's very what's the word, like when he's his directing is very he interjects a lot, like he'll change things in a scene, or like, now do it this way, so I think kind of doing that can really help a production,
I was going to ask you, does that help in from your experience having multiple directors through everything that you've done? Does that kind of, have you experienced that style?
So it does. I've learned it does depend on the actor, because like because like if you have a director telling you like say it like this, they're giving you a line reading, which a lot of actors will take offense to that, because that's their job. Their job is to take these words and figure out how they would say it. Like how the character would say it. So that a lot of actors will view it that way.
Yeah.
But I think there's a fine line of like, you know, when like directing, like a director can give her a line read, but also just like, you know, explain how they want the line to be said, you know, and how they think it should be said by the character, especially if it's an iconic character like Superman, you know? So I think it's just about, for the director, I think it's all about how you go about it. But I think the main thing is you want it to be, well, I think it's also a fine line thing too, but you want it to be a collaborative experience between the actor and director. I think that happens a lot with like when you get to, you know, big projects like this. But like you want it to be a conversation, like, and I think, and again, it's always preference, because I think some directors will not want an actor who has all these like crazy ideas, like, oh, maybe we could do this. Like, no, you're gonna do it my way,
right?
You know, like some directors can be stubborn like that, and like that's okay too, because that's how it goes. It is their vision, and at the end of the day,
especially if they're the one that wrote the script too.
Exactly.
That's also writing and directing.
Exactly.
Like imagine going to Jordan Peele and being like, actually, I think we should do this. It's like, no, man. Yeah. I wrote the script. I know what I'm doing.
And I've never. Shut up. Yeah, and I've never. I don't know what a screen test is like, but I'm assuming that is also what a screen test is for. Not just to see how the costume looks and how they're able to do like these stunts, but also like I guarantee the director is there and like, hey, try this now. You know, I think that's also a way for them to see what their chemistry is going to be like. You know. So anyway, to kind of answer your question, I like when I can be collaborative with the director. Like I give my take on a character, like I do it, and they're like, okay, I like how you did this, but try it this way, and it just gives you ideas to play with, you know, because then you as the actor, when you try it their way, maybe you find something that neither of you thought of, and then you're like, oh shit, that's really cool. Or all the way around, you find something that neither of you thought of, but it's bad. You know, like you just gotta try shit. You know, because I mean that's what I tell everybody. Like, you know, when you're like auditioning, doing anything, you can't be. You got to be bold. You got to try stuff, because, you know, you never know what's going to come out of thin air. You never know what somebody is going to like that maybe they didn't think they were going to like. Anyway, I think it should be a collaborative process. I like being collaborative with my director. And that's what I assume happened with this movie. That's I guarantee you, David and James Gunn had a lot of conversation about Superman, what they think Superman is and should be, and whatever they talked about worked off greatly.
I'm sure Nicholas Hoult was in that conversation as well.
Oh yeah,
just with his acting experience alone and his repertoire that he's built for himself, I guarantee you he had so much to say on that.
And he's also, I mean, obviously he did a great job with Lex Luthor. So and you know, he's a very important character too. He's a very iconic supervillain. So that you have to have a conversation with that as well. So
I'd be so interested to see his transition in his mind going from Beast to Lex Luthor.
I know
that is such a crazy switch.
Isn't that crazy?
Is absolutely wild, and he did that so long ago too. He was so much younger playing Beast than he is now playing Lex Luthor. I think it was great.
Two great characters.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, and a really good contrast.
Yeah.
That alone shows his range. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did he shave his head for that? Or was that okay, I couldn't tell. It was so smooth. It was like, I know. A bald cap?
No.
I could not tell.
Nope, shaved his head. Awesome. His oldest son shaved his head for him. He's like, Dad needs a haircut for his next movie. He does have children. He does indeed have children.
Know that.
Yeah, Nicholas Hoult has children. He is that old.
How old is he? He looks pretty young.
He looks like he could be 30, bro.
I'm looking at that. Yeah, man.
He really does.
Oh, by the way, Clayface guy's playing him.
Rice something?
Yeah, Tom Rice Harries.
There we go. Boom.
Tom Rice Harries.
I knew it was Rice something. I didn't know the rest of the words in there.
But I'm seeing pictures of Daniel Radcliffe. Oh, I think that was just rumors.
No, he voices Clayface in Harley Quinn.
Okay.
The animated series. Okay. Yes.
I see.
Very interesting. We're on season 5 of that now. I've only seen 2.
Oh, really?
But apparently there are 5 seasons. I just had a conversation about that this morning. Anyway, speaking of bold, we have I pulled up a little list of the upcoming DC
Right.
projects. Peacemaker season 2 obviously coming out August 21st. So next month that'll be coming out. I have to catch up on Peacemaker before that comes out. Supergirl is then we don't get anything until next summer. We literally just have to wait a year,
Really?
a full year until next summer until we get Supergirl with Millie Alcock and Jason Momoa playing Lobo, the role he was born to play. I don't know what he was doing playing Aquaman.
Just delete that.
But yeah, he's perfect for Lobo. I'm excited. I'm very excited to see how he does with that. After the Minecraft movie, he swayed my opinion a little bit. That's really funny. I like that role for him.
I feel like DC like everybody's been saying like DC's trash like the past like 10 years.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that was them like being bold. Like, okay, let's put Jason Momoa as Aquaman, like as somebody who doesn't look like the character, but maybe could be good. And I think like now they're with James Gunn, like he's trying to go away from that. He's trying to like let's just make choices that make sense.
I think there was an even bolder decision.
What was
Ezra Miller playing the Flash?
Oh. Yeah,
I think that was even worse.
Did he still have was he still having his problems?
He was
really.
Yeah. Yep. That's why they couldn't bring him back. Then we have Clayface, which those are back to back. So June and then September, Supergirl and Clayface. And then we have to wait until October 2027 to get the Batman Part 2. Not part of James Gunn's DC universe, but the next DCU project in general. After that. So, but as far as James Gunn is Peacemaker, Supergirl, Clayface are the next 3, and then we get Dynamic Duo, which I can't wait for the casting come out for that. But that's gonna be 3 years from now. So,
really quick, if we're trying to, if down the line he's trying to get to a Justice League movie, like with new people, like is there going to be a new Batman, or are they going to try to stick with? Are they going to try to get Robert Pattinson?
No, there's going to be a new Batman. They decided that Robert Pattinson is in a different universe.
Okay.
And that's his own standalone thing. And they're going to bring in a new Batman for Batman Brave and the Bold. Okay. Which is going to be the next Batman movie in that universe. So that will be very, very interesting to see.
And do we know when that is supposed to be?
2028.
Damn.
Maybe longer. In development, doesn't even have a date yet. But Dynamic Duo is going to be animated.
I'm gonna send my audition for that. See how it goes.
For Batman? Yeah, you got that 100%. 100%. If not, I could see you playing Jason Todd. For sure.
That would be so sick. Oh my god.
Jason Todd? Yeah, that'd be sick.
I've been dying for a good Jason Todd movie, bro. Yeah. I want to see him tortured by the Joker, man.
Yeah. That's real. Dynamic Duo is an animated Robin origin movie with Jason Todd having his intervene there. There's a comic run on Dynamic Duo essentially, and they're like, okay, let's turn this into an animated movie. It's not going to be a James Gunn project, I don't believe,
but it is a DC.
It's still the next DC project as well.
Okay, yeah.
The next James Gunn project is Lanterns, which we were talking about before we started recording.
That's the show, right?
The show on HBO. It's going to be early, like 2020, early this next year, I think.
Early next year, early 2026?
Something like that. Because I think that's what's in between now and Supergirl.
Oh, yes. Yeah, okay.
Because I'm pretty sure it's Peacemaker Season 2, Lanterns, Supergirl, Clayface.
Okay.
That's like the next 4 James Gunn projects. Okay. That's what they have lined up. And there's a bunch of stuff like in development. There's Batman movie in development, Creature Commando Season 2 in development, The Authority, which is Amanda Waller, Swamp Thing, I don't know why they're doing that, a Bane Deathstroke movie, Teen Titans, a new Wonder Woman movie, a Waller TV show, which would be after The Authority, Booster Gold, they said they were going to do at some point. I don't know if they're still doing that. Paradise Lost, which is its whole other thing. They were talking about doing a Blue Beetle, but I think if they do another Blue Beetle, it'll be animated, so there won't be a Blue Beetle in the DC universe that James Gunn's building right now, which is kind of tragic because Zola Mariduena did a fantastic job with that movie. That was like the best DC project we've had in years. Yeah, that was fantastic. I love that movie. That was, yeah. Anyway, more Harley Quinn, a Gotham PD show possibly, and there was a Sergeant Rock show that was supposed to come out. They canceled that. Other than that, I think what I really want to see is going to be obviously Justice League is in the works. He already said he's going to work on that. That's his main thing that he wants to work on. Building towards Justice League. So you need a Flash, an Aquaman, a Batman, a Superman, a Wonder Woman, and a Green Lantern is the main stack. And then you can add whoever else you want on top of that, essentially. I guess I'm missing Green Arrow in there too, but I don't know. That's going to be crazy. But we've had, I grew up watching CW DC, like watching Supergirl, watching Green Arrow, watching Flash, watching DC Legends of Tomorrow when it came out. And then we had some other, like, Supergirl came out at one point. That was okay. But like all that stuff was like, those were really well casted. Like if you look at those, like all those characters were really well casted. Stephen Amell did a great job playing Green Arrow. Grant Gustin played a great Flash. All the side characters in both of those were fantastic. Supergirl was all right. She was okay. But even better was the DC Legends of Tomorrow storyline. I don't know. Did you watch any of that?
No.
Okay. So essentially what it was Captain Cold, his duo, which I don't remember his name to save my life. He had a flamethrower. There was the Atom, which is Ray Palmer. Hawk Girl or Hawkman would like show up every once in a while. It essentially was like this, and what is her name? I think it was a Black Canary version. It was a version of Black Canary.
Okay.
And it was team of them, and they would just time travel and fight villains from throughout time. It was sick. It was so dope. I used to watch that with my dad. It was great. We loved that show. But they have to like recast all these characters. Like this is going to be like, he's got to work on casting, and you got to cast them now. Yeah. Millie Alcock, he already did a great job casting. She looks fantastic for Supergirl. I'm super excited for that. The Clayface casting, I don't know how he's going to be in a costume. So he has a good voice for it. I don't know if you've heard his voice, but he has a good voice for Clayface. Okay. So that's kind of cool. And the fact that they're doing a horror movie and not really like a hero villain movie is kind of cool.
That's very interesting.
It is. I'm excited to see that play out. But back to what I was saying was building this Justice League is that you have to cast all these characters. Yeah. We've done such a great job. And obviously Mr. Terrific, Guy Gardner, and Hawkgirl are all part of Justice League as well. They'll come back and continue to do that. And then you have Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart for the New Lanterns movie. And then you'll have Supergirl, and you'll have whoever else they bring in for that Supergirl movie. I'm assuming they're going to bring in more people. But eventually building this giant group and doing that is going to be crazy. You're going to have to cast a Martian Manhunter. I need redemption from Zack Snyder's. That was awful. Martian Manhunter is one of the coolest superheroes in the DC universe. You need to do it well, and I know he has the ability to. If anybody can, it will be James Gunn. And Martian Manhunter also deserves his own TV series. He's fucking dope. But you have to cast all this. You have to like start casting this now. Yeah. And even if you don't want to like let the public know who you're casting, like I'm hoping that he has people in mind that he's willing, that wants to cast and wants to keep this going forward. Because this is like if you were born at like in the time frame to watch the first Iron Man. Like that's what's going on here. Yeah. I'm so happy to be around for this and so excited, and like
a lot of potential.
Yes.
A lot of potential.
Like I started, I don't remember what the first when I watched my first MCU movie, but I didn't get to go see Iron Man and the first Avenger in theaters. But this is now that I'm going to get to see Superman in theaters, and you just get to keep watching these as it goes and as it grows. I'm hoping he does it well. It's a great start. Yeah. Fantastic start. To start off with a great Superman movie, do a different origin than what we've seen before. Great casting, a great score, great villain. I'm just excited to see what he's got planned. I can't wait. I'm excited.
What did you think of that Ultraman twist?
So, I knew about it.
You knew about it?
I knew about it. Ultraman isn't that movie specific. He is a villain from the comics who typically is a clone of Superman. Okay. Just like Zod is also Zod also later down the line creates a clone of Superman, and they call him something different. But it's happened before. It's not like something that is unique.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't sure because I know that there's a version of Superman where like it's basically exactly like Superman, but he, instead of landing in a cornfield, he lands in a city.
Yeah.
In a non-rural area. So
Yeah.
like obviously the government would take him in and then turn him into like a military machine.
Yeah.
And I don't know the full story of like what, but I mean I'm pretty sure he like becomes like tortured and evil probably. I don't know. But that's what I thought. It was like a spin-off of that. I wasn't sure Ultraman was like already a part of some of the comics or anything like that. But
so there's another storyline, which if you've seen Young Justice, you know this. But there's another storyline which is Superboy, which is Connor, and he is created by villains and is essentially Superman's son. Like it's not a direct clone of him. It's literally just his offspring that they lab grew, and we're gonna make him bad. And then Young Justice, they all come in and they're like, "Oh my, we have to save him!" Blah blah blah, and they turn him and bring him back to the Justice League, and they're train him and make him obviously Superboy, who becomes a big part of Justice League or Young Justice. But that's another storyline, and that's something that's done a lot in Teen Titans, and then Young Justice as well. They did that, so it's another thing. But Teen Titans is another thing that they have to recast for too. Titans in general, you have to. Obviously, we're gonna get. I don't know when we're gonna get an actual Dick Grayson live action. We're getting Dynamic Duo, which is an animated live action with that animated movie with Dick Grayson and Jason Todd. But you have to cast a live action Dick Grayson. The last one was okay, but also Beast Boy, Raven, Starfire, Cyborg, all those characters. The DC universe is just huge, and he could go in so many ways with it. But I don't know. We're gonna see what he does with doing that. I don't know a lot of big bad superhero or super villains from DC. I'm not that familiar with big bads, so I don't know exactly where they could go. Zod is a big one. I know that. Gorilla Grodd is a big one for Flash. Yeah, but not really a Justice League villain.
And Clayface is a Batman villain.
Clayface is a Batman villain. That's probably where they're going to go with that. You'll probably see a silhouette at the end of the Clayface movie of Batman, and they're going to be like, "What? We're doing Batman!"
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Never saw this coming.
Well, I was interested because it looked like they were kind of purposely showing this, which is interesting. But in Superman, there was the scene where he finds out like the message, and then he like goes in that building, and he's like takes a sec to like, kind of like whatever, and then you see like a product, not product placement or whatever, but like something that created by like Stag Enterprises.
Yeah, and
there's a character Simon Stagg. Yeah. Who is in the DC comics, and I don't know if he's mainly a super.
He's a villain.
Well, I know he's a villain, but I don't know if he's like a Batman villain or a Superman villain. I mean, he's in one of the Arkham games. I think he's in Arkham Knight. Yeah. Or maybe Arkham City. I can't remember. But I remember noticing that because I recognized the name Stag. Yeah. And I was like, maybe this is like another segue into. I don't know. But yeah. I just noticed that too. So.
The guy that sponsors the Justice Gang is also a villain. I don't know. Forget the name, but the guy that Guy Gardner like shouts out when they like beat the giant monster. They're like, "Oh, and thank you to blah 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 for sponsoring us." He's also a villain. Okay. He has some ulterior motives of sponsoring them and what else not, which I don't know if they're gonna do anything with that, but it's also a thing. So yeah. But I'm excited for Fantastic Four as well. Yep. Coming out next week. That's going to be hopefully good. First MCU project, kind of turn this ship around. If it doesn't, that's not a good look for them. After Superman doing so well in theaters, if you bomb your next project the week after you have a giant DC project release, which is now their competitor. Now it's a competition. Yeah. Like you've doubled your profit on a Superman movie on opening weekend. Marvel is now your competitor.
Oh, they doubled their profit?
I think they made over $500 million on it. Their budget was only $200.
Holy shit. Whoa. Dang.
They have made a lot of money on Superman, and they absolutely deserve it. That movie's fantastic. But yeah, they're now competing with Marvel to have that top spot. So
Marvel's been on top for well over a decade.
Yeah. Yeah, they deserve to be dethroned. Hopefully James Gunn can do it. I believe in him. We'll see. But great start with Superman.
If this guy's going to be running the entirety of MCU and DC, that's crazy. James Gunn.
Yeah,
like, he's like, that's crazy.
He's not gonna. He stepped back from the MCU now that he's got DC.
Is he like fully done?
Yeah, he's done with MCU.
Oh, okay.
He took the spot at DC, and they were like, basically, if you take the spot, you can't have any affiliations with Marvel. So there will not be any more Guardians of the Galaxy movies. Essentially, is what that says. I mean,
at least not by him.
Not by him. And if they try to do another one, they're making a big mistake. I mean, I think half the Guardians are dead now, so something like that. Well, Gamora's gone at least, and whoever they have left is just not good enough, I guess. I don't know, but it will be interesting to see how Fantastic Four plays into.
I think it's gonna be good.
Doomsday and Secret Wars and
right.
all that stuff, which is like, I don't know. They've already done Avengers: Infinity War and Endgame, and now you're transitioning into, oh well, let's do 2 movies, 2 TV shows, another movie, and then let's have another Infinity War Endgame because they just want money. I don't know. MCU's huge as well, though. Like, you could be doing so many things. Like, so many things. You could be having just a standalone X-Men project before you bring them into Doomsday and Secret Wars, but they're just like, nah, we're just going to throw it all in one movie. You could be capitalizing on that, but they're throwing away money. So, I don't know what they're doing or how that's going to turn out, but we will find out next week with Fantastic Four. No Interstellar this week. Hopefully next week, Interstellar we get to do with Mr. Gian Bernardino be coming on. He is has done cinematography for a local production company, and hopefully he will be coming on next week or the week after. But yeah, Superman's good. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. If you're excited for anything else, we got Fantastic Four next week. And then I'm going to watch Peacemaker. That's my plan. Have you seen Peacemaker yet?
No.
Okay. Well, you'll have to watch that too then.
Yeah. Strap in. I'm gonna start watching the new season of The Bear.
Yes.
I really want to get into that.
Yes, we did. Yeah. Yeah. This is Ebon with next week. Fantastic Four is like his first big breakout role after doing that. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. But I'm excited for that. Anything else new coming out?
Not that I can think of right now.
Got a trailer for Mortal Kombat this morning.
Yeah,
looking really good. So
I don't know what weekend it's coming out, but the new Naked Gun movie.
That is interesting for sure.
I'm actually excited for that. I think it's gonna be good.
Liam Neeson, what a guy! It will definitely be interesting. Yeah. But yeah, stay tuned. We will be having more stuff coming out. Hopefully, with a more consistent schedule is what we're hoping for. And I hope you guys are enjoying the video format. First time last week, and again this week. And with that, thank you guys for listening. We'll see you guys very soon.
See ya.